One of my favorite panels in the Attack on Titan manga has finally been animated. It's Eren, just this sunset scene where he's putting on his coat after making his exit using the Warhammer Titan in Eren's possession so he can make his escape at any moment. But Eren was waiting for his opportunity, and that opportunity was the shit chair exploding, killing the most powerful member of the government currently in terms of the military, and literally causing the Jaegerist revolution. And honestly, I think most people, if I go back to what people were saying when we were reading the manga when this content first came out, pretty much everyone was in agreement. Even if they didn't agree with Eren's plan, the abs made them want to follow in the Jaegerist revolution, and goddamn, the map delivered this episode in style. The only thing I was slightly put off by was originally I was like, I kind of wanted to see Eren kind of like the destroyed rubble of his cell, but then again, with the explosion from the chair, with obviously the new recruits placing it there, his favorite chair obviously would come to his office, plant a bunch of explosives, and take out the top level dog, which then makes Pixis the next in line. The idea of him just walking in the sunset, seeing his revolution take place, and how you're questioning, is Eren being brainwashed, or is Eren in full control, or does he completely agree, right? There's a lot of questions that will be circling in your mind, but it's crystal clear that the Eren you used to know is a very different Eren than what you currently know. The only thing that is crystal clear that has stayed the same from Eren from Season 1 now to Eren in Season 4 is that the people that he cares for, he does care for, but anyone who's in his way that will oppose his family's freedom is gonna get a shit chair explosion to the face and will cause a giant revolution to take place. One of my favorite aspects about this episode is Pixis and what he decides to do after basically being appointed top level chain of command in terms of the military. Sort of gives up. And it's not like he gives up and just bows down, okay, you killed one of my friends, you killed a top level soldier. No, we're saying at this point, Eren's already declared war on the world. The war is going to be coming to our doorstep sooner rather than later. The end of the episode shows that Cart Titan is waiting there, patiently, waiting for her moment to strike, right? So it would be very foolish for someone like Pixis to say, we're going to go capture Eren, we're going to feed Eren to another Titan. Because not only would they lose even more soldiers, they would probably lose altogether, and even if they won, how would they be able to fend off Marley if they don't have the Founding Titan, the Attack Titan, all these Titans in their possession? It's literally impossible. So you have to bite your tongue. As much as it pisses him off, he knows that they can't bring up this assassination. They have to bite their tongue, mind their time, and see where it goes. Do the test rumbling, see what happens. But yeah, it's one of those things that it's a pretty hard pill to swallow. If you're completely against Eren's plan, you might be wanting to say, what an idiot, you should be fighting back. But that would be the way that Paradise Island loses. You lose Eren, you lose the war. So you gotta kind of keep him on your good side, and if he does assassinate a few higher ups, even if it's Pixis himself, it's something that you have to do. It's a very powerful moment, and I think really does show just how far the cookies kind of crumbled here. You're still seeing all of the gates kind of flooded with Eren supporters, and when you see an assassination, all you hear is dedicate your hearts, which was probably one of the best adapted scenes, I think. When I initially read it, it gave me a very gross feeling, as if even if you're for Eren, this is a type of scene that you shouldn't be inspired by, but you should be terrified by. And to see the facial reactions and just how angry they were chanting dedicate your heart, something that used to be so inspiring now is basically something that feels more like a terrorist saying it. And it was a pretty frightening scene, and to see the reactions from the people saying it to just Mikasa and Armin, it was a beautifully directed scene. Eren and just his character arc is my favorite thing in media. I just love it, and to see how Mappa's taking it, and one of the great things about the adaptation is when you read the manga, you might be saying, okay, why are they adapting this here when it takes place a couple of chapters away? They're basically taking all the relevant content for a character's perspective, putting it together, and it's a really good formula, which is something that Wit's been doing as well from their adaptation of Attack on Titan. But it's great to see how they're doing it here, because this arc in Attack on Titan, the final season, there's a lot of you're focusing on a different side for a long time, then you're focusing back on Eren's side, and you can go back and forth, and I like how it functions in the manga. But with it being a monthly release, it can be okay, I really want to see this content right here. When you read the volumes, it's not really an issue because you can get to whatever content you want to see. But for the anime, really, it's not even condensing it, it's just rearranging it to make it flow a lot better for the anime medium. It's a great touch, and they're really taking their time on those slower moments. And honestly, I am so excited for the last month of the final season as we then get either part 2, a movie, or movies, whatever it's going to be, because we know where it's going to be ending at this point in time, and we know the full thing is going to be adapted as per the staff and even Isayama himself. This episode was very interesting because it's kind of like that conspiracy. You're going to have that thought process. Who can you trust? Is Yelena telling the truth? And then Pixis is saying, the best way to have a lie is to sprinkle a little bit of truth in it. Is Yelena manipulating Eren? Is Eren manipulating Yelena? Is Eren and Yelena being manipulated, right? The big factor and the big culprit is what is Zeke's true motives. And I like how the anime has left it very kind of mysterious, as if you're not really sure. And I'm not exactly sure which episode will probably get that perspective. It's probably next week based on the preview, but then again, it could be the following episode. But still, I'm loving how what this episode really did, even removing the explosion, even removing Eren kind of leaving his cell, what they did a great job at is really showing just how fragmented this entire operation is. Whether you love Eren or you hate Eren, at the end of the day, you have to follow Eren to some degree, because what his assault did, it launched a war that will be coming to their doorstep so soon. So, do you want to fight Eren right now, which you'll probably end up dead, but your morals are saying, well, we have to avenge our fallen comrades? Or do you reluctantly bite your tongue and wait for your moment to strike if you ever get that moment? It's more worth it, because at the very least, LDS future will be secure, because you won't have to worry about Eren pointing a gun to your head and killing you or something like that. Or even worse, using something like, obviously, the Warhammer Titan to launch you into outer space. It's really great to see what this episode did, and I really enjoyed the pacing and how they were adapting and just the beautiful locations and things like that. For once again, another dialogue-heavy chapter, sure, there was an explosion, and sure, there was kind of like that, badass Eren scene where he's just kind of looking off, seeing his allies. I love what they're able to do with so much information and kind of like that who trusts who and what can you actually do. It's a very fragmented group right now, and it feels like, honestly, as much as it may piss you off to say, like, even if you love characters or hate them, at the end of the day, when they say we have to wait, we can't go and attack Eren, because really, what would that serve in this particular moment? If we were back in Season 1 era, sure, it would make sense for them to go after Eren, the same way they imprisoned him back in Season 1, where they're like, okay, we have to make sure he's not going to be a threat. Here, there's literally a world war waiting on their doorstep. They don't know that some of them have already infiltrated, but they do know it's coming sooner than later. And I love that about this episode. It was definitely a very emotional episode. I thought they adapted it exceptionally well. Like I said, the only thing that kind of caught me off guard is I wanted to see the prison cell kind of like destroyed. But at the same time, I do like how they adapted it, seeing how they kind of like prolonged just him walking. I thought they did a great job. And I'd much rather have more scenes with the sunset than just seeing a destroyed building, which we already knew he could escape whenever he wanted. He just had to wait for the perfect opportunity when they didn't expect it, which is him sitting in his office, a chair goes off, and then he makes his exit. It's brilliant, it's incredible, and Attack on Titan final season is not letting up. Voice actors are continuing to impress me. I especially love Mikasa and Armin in this episode, especially realizing just what has happened, and they don't want to blame Eren, but they probably are realizing that it probably was Eren, but they still don't know. It was great, it was incredible, it was emotional, and Eren, goddamn, those abs are really invoking a revolution of cultists here, and honestly, I'm here for it. Let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. What did you think, and where do you think it might go with next week's episode? If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, share your support, and hit that subscribe button if you're happy new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.